Okay, let's talk about Sweden and the Netherlands. When you think of the perfect society, these two countries almost always come up. They seem to have it all figured out. But what if I told you that these two so-called utopias are actually built on completely opposite ideas? It's a fascinating contrast, so let's dig in. I mean, at a glance, you'd think they were practically twins. Seriously, look at how much they have in common. People trust each other, corruption is super low, they've both got these amazing welfare states and public services, and yeah, no surprise, they're always at the top of the charts for happiness and quality of life. They're the poster children for a successful country. But, and this is where it gets really interesting, day-to-day life there feels completely different. And it's not because of some deep-seated cultural thing. Nope. It all comes down to incentives. The entire system in each country is set up to reward totally different choices. And that changes everything. So first up, let's head to Sweden and take a look at what we're calling the security model. We're going to see how their whole society has been engineered around one core principle: stamping out risk wherever they can find it. This quote really says it all, doesn't it? In Sweden, the system reduces risk almost everywhere. Just think about that for a second. This isn't just about having unemployment benefits. It's a philosophy that covers pretty much every single part of your life, from the cradle to the grave. So, how do they actually pull this off? Well, it's all built on a foundation of high taxes, which pay for all those universal services. That creates this incredibly strong social safety net. There's a huge focus on making sure incomes are pretty equal, and the government is deeply involved in the economy to keep everything stable. Every piece is designed to build a fortress of predictability. Of course, there's no free lunch, right? Every system has a trade-off. For Sweden, it's super clear. The promise is huge: security. You get this incredible peace of mind. The price you pay? A pretty hefty tax bill, and for most people, it's a much slower journey to building personal wealth. You're basically trading a high potential upside for a really, really high and safe floor for everyone. Okay, now let's flip the coin and look at a completely different way of doing things. Let's head over to the Netherlands and what we can call the optionality model. This whole system is built not for security, but for pure efficiency and, you guessed it, individual choice. And if you want to understand the Dutch mindset, this one line nails it. In the Netherlands, life is optimized, not equalized. See, the main goal isn't to make sure everyone has a similar outcome. It's about giving everyone the freedom and the tools to arrange their own life in whatever way works best for them. So, what does that look like in practice? Well, the whole Dutch model is built for speed and efficiency. The culture is all about getting a lot done in the hours you do work, which is why working part-time is totally normal and respected. The safety net is there, but it's not as all-encompassing as Sweden's. There's just a lot more emphasis on you, the individual, taking responsibility. It is a society that absolutely loves efficiency. And the trade-off here is the exact opposite of Sweden's. The big promise is flexibility. You get more free time, more choices about how you live and work. But the catch? A lot more financial pressure falls on your shoulders. The safety net isn't as high, so if you stumble, the fall can be a bit harder. All right, it's time for the main event. Let's put these two ideas side by side and see how they really stack up: security versus optionality. This is where you can really see how these different philosophies change what it's like to live in each place. Take income, for example. Sweden works hard to keep income gaps small. You get that super strong floor, but it often comes with a lower ceiling for the highest earners. The Netherlands, on the other hand, is comfortable with a wider range of incomes. You have more freedom to chart your own course, which also means you have more freedom to fail. This next line just sums it up perfectly. Let this one sink in for a minute. Sweden guarantees you won't fall far. The Netherlands gives you more room to choose and fail. That's the fundamental difference in the deal each country makes with its citizens. And this thinking shapes everything, especially things like work and stress. In Sweden, who you are isn't so tied up in what you do for a living. Stress is something the system helps you manage through protection. In the Netherlands, work is super efficient, and you manage stress by having the flexibility to control your own time. So one reduces stress with protection, the other with flexibility. Two totally different paths to the same goal of well-being. So after all this, what's the big takeaway? Well, that brings us to the final and maybe most important question. What do you value? Because this isn't really about which country has better policies. It's much deeper than that. It's a question of philosophy. You see, at their very core, each country is trying to answer a completely different question. Sweden is asking, how do we protect everyone? And the Netherlands is asking, how do we optimize life? When you start from such different places, it's no wonder you end up with two very different looking societies. So, which one is actually better? The thing is, there's no right answer. There's no winner here. The better system really just depends on what you personally care about the most. And that leaves us with one last thing for you to think about. What's more important for a truly good life? Is it the deep comfort of knowing you'll always be caught if you fall? Or is it the thrilling freedom to design your own life, risks and all? Is it security? Or is it optionality?